Hey everybody, welcome to another Jay's Football Show. I have no clue what to call this thing actually. Um, it's going to be sports in general throughout the year, but with with the combine being over from the NFL players, the draft for the players, I thought it would be now a good time to discuss salary caps and trades and whatnot from there. So I'm going to pull up that. I'm actually first gonna go to um, the actual video here. Let's mute that. Pull up my chat. And we're gonna watch this video here. Copy. Sorry. Just should have been more prepared for this. And sharing to my post. Close that. All right. So, like I said, I've been trying to find sites that have the information that I'm looking for specifically for salary caps and contracts. And I think I may have found the site for this. The site that I found is spotrac.com, spotrac.com/NFL. And that shows the NFL. Now, the particular screen I'm going to share here in just a moment is the actual breakdown of best cap space to worst cap space as of whenever they updated this information. I'm assuming it was today. All right. So like it says here, this is a real-time look at the 2018 salary cap totals for each NFL team, including the estimated cap space, assuming a 177,200,000 team salary cap. And as you can see with the total cap space in the one category is going to be the Cleveland Browns. And they have 73 signed players. Of and this is the top 70. The top 51 spaces, the top 51 contracts under their amount. And if you factor in the cap space with all of them, it shows you that it's actually less than what they're expecting. So, as you can scroll down and see your teams here on this, you got the Cleveland Browns, New York Jets, Colts, 49ers, Chicago Bears, Texans, Titans, Vikings, Rams, Bengals, Broncos, Redskins, the Saints, Jags, Lions, Bills, Patriots, Panthers, Chargers, Cardinals, Chiefs, Raiders, Falcons, Packers, Seahawks, Giants, Ravens. Thought I said Ravens. It must have been the Raiders. The Cowboys, Steelers, Eagles, and Dolphins. Now, looking at the basis of their teams, you can actually see that some teams are actually in the negative, such as the Eagles and the Dolphins. And then some teams are showing positive with their top 51, like the Steelers, and they're also in the negative, though, when you factor in all their contracts. So, with that said, you can tell which teams are going to be cutting players drastically within the next week before 4 p.m. on March 14th. On Pi Day. League year starts on Pi Day. What a great day. I'm still working on my spreadsheet for all the different players. That draft sheet I'm doing was actually just to keep track of their what teams draft where and also it's going to be duplicated as a um, the series football heads draft picks as I get them as well. But it's interesting to see how with the start of free agency in less than a week, which teams really have the space to go after people and who don't. Excuse me, sorry about that. Um, just as an example here, obviously with one of the worst teams put together this year, the Cleveland Browns, they have very little in the way of their contracts as far as upper echelon players. So they have 73 players under contract with an active 127. Wow. Wow, they have a metric ton of cap space. That's just crazy. According to this, the way I'm reading it, it could be totally wrong. Just make sure that I'm reading that right. The way that I'm reading this. All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to do some math here really quick because if you look at the Cleveland Browns here, it does not look like it equals out to be even nine. No, 97 actually looks a little bit better. That looks a little bit better than what they had before. So I'm new to trying to figure this all out and figure what better way to learn than on the fly, because what's the worst people are gonna do? But if as I'm looking at it, we see that the cap space with all their contracts, they're at 97. They're hitting the cap. ugh, what their cap space is roughly about 97 million dollars, $98 million roughly. They could go out and get some good people in free agency, or they could not. But you go down here to a team like the Seahawks, my team. We're sitting at 26th on the list with a cap space of roughly 14,332,310 dollars. So just call it 14.3 million in cap space. That's just crazy to think about. But when you look at the contracts, the signing bonuses, structured bonuses, and how much dead cap somebody has. So his cap, so just taking a look at Wilson right here. The cap hit, I'm going to pull up a calculator here and just do this myself really quick. Calculator, where did you go? Don't even know if you can see all the programs I have on here, but whatever. So the way I am reading this is he has a base salary this year of $15.5 million plus a signing bonus of $6.2 million plus he has a restructured bonus of 2.086 million. 2086. 2086. There we go. Oh yeah, my math still worked out, but yeah, sweet. So his cap hit is almost 15% of our cap. Mm, Probably wants a little bit more on Probably want a little bit less of that, but you know what? The fact that we're only paying him roughly a what am I trying to say here? Blah. Totally forgot what I was trying to say there. What we're saying here is that we got him locked under contract for a number of years, and as you can see, some players have. So like Richard Sherman, this is the last year for his guaranteed money. Okay, that's his dead cap hit. So if we were to cut him, not that I'm saying we should, his the amount that we would owe him is only the signing bonus here. But as you see with Bobby Wagner, we would still owe him um, 7.2 million. Russell, we still owe 21.5 roughly in dead cap money. That's basically signing bonus spread out over the length of the contract. So this is just one of the sites that I'm using. That, as I learn it better during this off season, we'll see it better. We'll hopefully see that I can explain it a little bit better. With let's see here. With the combine being over, we can also pull up the combine results of players. Ooh, mock draft 2.0. Do I want to look or dare I look? Click here for the list. The top 50 prospects of the 2018 draft. That'd be worth it. Sorry, this was just updated yesterday. And this is Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 prospect, not specifically NFL.com's. So, ranked number 1, Barkley, running back, Penn State. Makes sense. Running back's pretty high. Offensive guard. I don't know if I guard that high, but you know, if you can line up and play well, more power to him. Bradley Chubb was moved up one. Denzel Ward, cornerback from Ohio State's moved up 4. Edmonds is moved down 2. Mekhi Fitzpatrick is moved down 1. Seeing a lot of down arrows. Oh, there's another up arrow. Derwin James. As you can see here, actually you can't see because I'm not sharing the screen. All right. So let me go to this. We'll share the screen again. As I get used to this, because I'm used to doing my politics side of things, I know when I need to share a screen, when I don't need to share a screen. Get used to that here with the NFL and sports sports play sports podcast. Wow, I'm not ready for today. Wow. One of those days, just cannot seem to get through my head. Okay. So as you can see here, we got the Saquon Barkley number 1 and Quentin Nelson both stayed the same. And now I'm not just going to solely rely on Daniel Jeremiah's 50 or anything like that. I'm going to go through the various players and host information such as the results, see who did what when. Going to see so like if I had a question on a player, so that's Monday. I want full results though. Come on. Sometimes this site's a little slow. All right. Go with Friday then. Come on, NFL. I wonder if it would have been easier to go to ESPN.com and get it. Well, while I wait for that, stop sharing and come back to me for a bit. What I'm planning on doing is creating a spreadsheet with the players and doing a mock draft myself, who I feel would go where, why, and whatnot, just like any other talking head at this point, because there's not a lot to talk about. But starting next week, we have free agency. And the first few days, first week or so is going to be all your big name free agents that are out and available on the market, like Jimmy Graham and whatnot. Gonna try and have a show next week, next Wednesday, right at 4 p.m. Eastern, so that'd be 1 p.m. Pacific time. Gonna kind of clash with NFL.com, but let's try this. Full results. There we go. Now let's back up. Might might conflict a little bit with the Sirius Satellite Radio show. I'm gonna try not to do that, but maybe I'll wait until later in the day and kind of go over the big names that get done right away, rather than trying to talk about it live on air at the same time. But we'll see. But as you can see here, here's the full results. This is the 40-yard dash. You can see you can select by position, you can select by event. And it shows you who is invited by their name, what college they're from, what position they play, and their time. Some of them will have their video. Some of them will not. And top performers are indicated with a star, unofficial times, or with a U. Although we shouldn't have too many unofficial times here, but we might. But as you can see, the fastest time for a quarterback was Josh Allen. Fastest tight end was 4.67 for Mark Andrews. Fastest time for safety was 4.34. Fastest running back 4.46. Oh, take the back 4.44. 4.70 for a quarterback. As you can see, I should be able to pull in the information. It will be time consuming, but I can pull it in and take a look at the bench presses for these guys. So, only one person on this list so far that I've seen is a top performer. Oh, two top performers, and that's just to the first page. I mean, there's plenty more pages to go. Got the vertical jump. We got the broad jump. It's the standing broad jump. 3-cone drill. If you ever get a chance to click on these video links, I'm not one to upset anybody by playing video, but if you find one with a video, click watch it. It's pretty interesting to watch some of these drills. The 20-yard shuttle and the 60-yard shuttles. The website here is actually a pretty good. The website here is actually pretty good to give you the information you're looking for, especially if you're scouting out your own team. You know your team needs. That would be beneficial to being able to allow you to look at their be able to look at their total blah. Looking at your team's needs, figuring out what you're going to get in free agency, and um, breaking it down. Going back to Spot Track. And here's kind of the homepage for the NFL. Gives the teams in alphabetical order, so on and so forth. Shows you salaries by year, free agents on your team. Let's go with the Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. Here are their free agents. 14 players. Darren Sproles, Brad M., Trey Burton, Donnie Jones, Corey Graham, LeGarrette Blount, Caleb Sturgis, Danielle Ellerby, William Beatty, Brian Brahman, Najee Good, Patrick Robinson, Kenjon Barner. That's an interesting one. And all of these are listed and Bo Allen. And all these guys are listed as unrestricted free agents. Unless they're restricted free agents. Nobody's listed. No, that's odd. Thought they would have had that by now. You can look at their contract by contracts that are active. This will show you. Start with usually their highest paid players, number of years the contract is, contract terms, average salary, and how much of it was guaranteed when it expires. I've gone in to look to see if it tells you the actual contract terms, like actual paragraph 5. Alrighty. That's weird. Okay. So, oh, that's pretty cool, actually. So, looking at it here, this actually gives a pretty good breakdown of the contracts that the person has had since being in with the team. It looks like, or at least been in the NFL. And you have looks like with just this team. But here's the new contract. 6-year. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 years. Base salaries first year is 11.5 million with a signing bonus of 5.2 million, and option bonus of 1.2 million for a total cap hit of 17.9 million. Now, if they were to cut him before the end of this, it would actually be his total cap hit for the year would be 38.45 million. Just to let you know. And then the next year, it goes up to 5.6 or 15.6 million for base salary, or what they call paragraph 5. Signing bonus of 5.2 million, option bonus of 1.2 million, and a cap hit of $22 million even. Or if they cut him, it'd be 20.55 million. No team's going to cut a person after that. Potential year out would be the 2020 year. 4 years left on the contract. Total contract they would still owe him is 63.399 million. However, the cap hit would only be a total of 6.4 million. That's the remaining of the guaranteed money. Then after that, they would be they'd be able to cut him at any point and not have to pay him any more. That's generally why you see an increase in their base pay and everything. So that's kind of all I've got to start with today. Is just this was kind of like a brief. Hey, the league year starts in a week. Here's where the free agency standings are. If you like, what I could do is go down the free agent lists per team. So here are their Here's the unrestricted free agent list. That's weird. It's listing a couple of that's weird. Showing their showing some of these guys with actual dollar amounts and whatnot from either looks like agreed in principle or maybe trades and they're redoing their deals. I don't know. I've been trying to figure things out. Could be guys that were cut too. I should say that. Uh, that's what it looks like to me. Is that these guys were cut. All right. So right now, potential free agents. Drew Brees. Probably not going to happen. If it does, that's a mistake on their part, as far as I'm concerned. But he is pushing 40, so I get their point on it too. Kirk Cousins is available, so Sam Bradford, Mike Glennon if you want, Jake Cutler, probably not, because he already tried to retire once. What's going to stop him from doing it again? Can I sort this by position? Really, I can. All right, so let's do it. Quarterback. Go. Shows their stats for the year, what they averaged. So, Drew Brees, Kirk Cousins, Sam Bradford, Mike Glennon, Jay Cutler are kind of the bigger names. Although you can see Case Keenum here too. Alrighty, so actually I probably put Case Keenum up higher, but yeah. AJ Manuel's out there. Wow. Austin Davis. Not a whole lot. And there usually never is. I mean, if you've got a good enough quarterback, you keep them on your team. Not going to matter. Let's see. What about left tackles? Who's out there? Who's available? Because if you're going to get a quarterback or you have a quarterback, you need to protect him, right? You got Nate Soldier, Greg Robinson, Chris Clark. All right. Donald Stephenson or Stevenson. If you can't beat out Russell Okung, you must not be that good because he's always hurt. I mean, honestly, the man just Russell Okung cannot stay healthy to save his life. All right. Let's go to top wide receivers. See who's available there. Now, I assume I shouldn't have to tell anybody this, but these are my own opinions on the players, nobody else's. So, I'll hit YouTube for it. It's my opinion. Terrell Pryor, Mike Wallace, Sammy Watkins, Eric Decker. Nothing I would terribly write home about. First Seahawk on the list is Paul Richardson, who only made 1.1 million, almost 1.2 million. There's Seahawks. Anyways, so here we are with NFL League year. It's going to shape up to be pretty fun to watch. I'm looking forward to seeing how the free agent market reacts. Looking to see how things work out, and I hope that you guys are enjoying it. Hope you guys want to. Hope you guys come back to watch more of my my stuff. Like I said, as I learn this site and learn to understand it better, I hope to be able to pass on some knowledge. I hope to be able to share information. I also hope to be able to have, hopefully be able to have friends of mine come on and chat with me, talk about their teams, especially leading up to draft, where they think their team should go, what their team should do. And that's pretty much going to be the end of my NFL broad segment of this show. Now I'm going to go into the Seahawks, and I have a couple of my friends who are wondering what the Seahawks were thinking, trading away Michael Bennett to the Philadelphia Eagles. And honestly, I don't blame them. I mean, we got next to nothing on that trade agreement, and of course, it doesn't go into effect till the league year starts. I get that. There's still time for things to happen, but odds are they're not going to happen. I'm gonna pull up the NFL.com and go over the transaction page and see how things when it decides to load. The biggest frustration about the NFL side is there's so much there that it's so hard to sometimes pull up what you want to see. It's like transactions, trying to find transactions, and it's like, okay, all right. And then you gotta wait for all the ads to load up and all that other stuff. All right. Come on. Oh, they don't even list it on here because it's not an official trade yet. Duh, Jay. Let's see if Seahawks.com has information on it. All right. Ooh, Seahawks featured Seahawks go offensive line and Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft 2.0. Duh. Seahawks are not using the franchise tag? That could be. Oh, yes, the big talk from through the NFL, Shaquem Griffin and his twin brother, Shaquille. Let's see here. Okay. Where's this trade? All right, so they don't even show it. So ESPN.com. All right. All right, let's see here. That's what I want is the stupid deal. All right, let's see if we can go to the teams then. Fine. All right, so oh, let's see. Come on. Okay, here we go. Trading Michael Bennett for mixed pass rush, and even bigger need for the Seahawks. All right, so probably got a stupid video to go with it. Mute that. All right, so what did we trade? Let's Rotation. All right. Seattle has picked up some needed draft capital by trading Bennett, adding a 5th-round pick plus receiver Marcus Johnson, while giving the Eagles a 7th-round pick. So right now we have a first, a fourth, 4 fifths, and 2 sevenths. So yeah, let's go with that. The Seahawks trading away Michael Bennett, one of the best pass rushers ever in the game of football in Seattle's history, is tantamount to saying we're giving up. I've seen articles recently about baseball, how they blow it up and then rebuild and then come back stronger, better than ever. I'd hate to see football go that way, but this is kind of leading me to think Seattle's thinking this the same way. It'd be easier to blow it up and start fresh. The problem is you can't be guaranteed to get any of these, replace these players talent for talent. It's like, there's not 32 starting quarterbacks, of Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Eli Manning, any of those, even Russ Wilson, any of these quarterbacks. There's not 32 of them, so you don't get rid of one when you're having issues playing the game, right? So why get rid of a pass rusher? Well, in Seattle's defense, not that I'm going to agree with it, but Michael Bennett is one of the most penalized players on the Seattle defense for the simple fact he is constantly off sides. Constantly. I don't think he understands that he cannot be in a certain zone before the ball is snapped. Now, yes, sometimes he's called offsides because he's actually pulled offsides by a hard count or something like that. But most oftentimes, I can see that he is actually trying to jump the snap. Like just a half a second, he gets caught every single time. It seems like sometimes they call the wrong numbers. I get that. The officials do get that wrong sometimes, but the man is penalized like crazy for being offsides all the time. Maybe we can get somebody a little bit more disciplined on that front now. However, with that said, though, the fact that he is trying to attack the quarterback shows that he has the passion for his job. He wants to be out there. He wants to make those plays. And I can't fault him for that. I can't. And that's the conundrum that as Seattle fans we are in. If you're not, then I don't know that I would call you really a Seattle fan. Because you don't want to see the man offsides all the time. You groan every time. It's like Blair Walsh missing field goals. Anytime the defense is on the field and all of a sudden you see a flag, and it's like, oh, it was offsides. Bet you it was Michael Bennett. I don't know about the rest of you, but that's kind of how I felt. It's like a given, flag on defense. If it wasn't pass interference, it's going to be offsides on Michael Bennett. That's just the way it is. Now, with what we're getting, because it sounds like we're not going to sign Paul Richardson back, we've got a pretty decent receiving core. I'd like to see them improve, but in order for them to improve, we need to have a running game. So where do we get that? We need offensive linemen. Now we short up left tackle for the time being with Dwayne Brown, and hopefully with a year with a full offseason under his belt with our new offensive coordinator and things like that, we will be able to improve out there. And the Lord help me. I hope we improve because I don't know if my heart can take another season like that. That was crazy. Just annoying. The rest of the NFL world be laughing at us because just a few years ago we were running. We were a run dominant team. And Russell Wilson was able to play off of that. This year it was Russell Wilson running for his life. I mean, honestly, it was him running for his life. I don't know what else to say, you know? But say la vie. It is what it is now. Let's go with, alright, let's see here. Come on, guys. Trying to find a whole bunch trying to do a whole bunch of stuff at once here. So let's see here. So we're letting go so far that I can see as far as players go for free agency. We're letting Luke Jokel go. No love lost there. I mean, we didn't even draft the guy. We just traded for him. Eddie Lacy's free to go. Maybe bring him back. Sheldon Richardson's free to go. But letting our 2 tight ends go, that's a bit harsh. I haven't watched any of the college football yet, so I don't know what tight ends are out there. Who would be the best fit for the team? I don't even know who else is available free agent wise as far as tight end goes. It is possible that we could still sign Luke Wilson or Jimmy Graham. Not likely, but it is what it is. Ooh, Blair Walsh is free agent. Yay. What we have to do as a team as what we need to do as a team here is we need to have we need to have our front office go back to what they did when they first came in. Not blow it up per se necessarily, but make sure that we have all the right players that fit together. Yes, I know it's going to be a rough year probably, especially if we are blowing it up and starting over again. Um, doesn't necessarily mean that we will be blowing up our entire team, but we could be, and if it is, we are in for a long season. All right, so let's go and see. Actually, we're gonna go see who's available for tight end for the Seahawks, barring Jimmy Graham. Okay, so we traded away one Bennett brother. We could pick up the other, Martellus Bennett, Antonio Gates. Yeah, I have no clue who the Atlanta tight end is here. That's on the free agent list. Uh, Tolio, Tolilo, Low. I have no clue. He's 26 and be in the prime of his life enough to be able to play. Virgil Green, Anthony Fasano, Zach Miller. We already dealt with him. Don't want to deal with that again. Tyler Eifert's available. Ooh, that could be interesting. Let's see here. Austin Safarian Jenkins might be decent in our offense. There's some good possibilities out there. Rogers, probably not. Possibility. Looks like there is potential here for us to sign a free agent tight end. That'll be interesting to see if that's what we can do. We get rid of. Let's see here. Let's go with defensive line and see who's available. Now, it's got to remember when you go into the defensive side, you really have to watch out for which people are actually available. Are they more of a 4-3 defensive player? Or are they more of a 3-4 defensive player? Because they're not exactly one and the same. All right, let's see here. Dontari Poe. That'd be interesting. Wilkerson would be also interested. Ooh. Market value. What their Dontari Poe's market value would be for him this year. Okay, so they're saying the market value would be 3-year, $17.23 million contract, average salary of $5.74 million. And the reason why they have projected this is the following contracts that are similar to Dontari Poe's, or that could be similar to what Dontari Poe could get. And this is interesting. I actually kind of like it. If they based it off of 5 years, it'd still be 5.77 million, so nearly 5.8 million, or 28.9 million. That'd be pretty interesting. Wow. Actually looks like a pretty decent site to see. All right. So let's go to the draft. Let's see who the mock drafts are saying. Mock drafts. Do I take the time off for the draft or not? Hopefully it doesn't auto start. All right. So we're going to go down to the Seahawks at the 18th pick. We have Will Hernandez for Jeremiah Daniels. So that's what they were talking about. All right. So we have Daniel Jeremiah. Sorry, not Jeremiah Daniels. Daniel Jeremiah, who last did his on March 6th. Bucky Brooks last did his on January 30th. So not really going to care about his. Charlie Casserly, February 13th. Not going to care about his. Lance Zierlein. His was March 8th. I'm not even going to attempt to try it today. March 1st. So I'm going to go with Lance, Peter, and Daniel. So, like I said, Daniel had us picking Will Hernandez, and Lance Zierlein has us picking Marcus Davenport. Opposite sides of the ball. Ooh, Lance Zierlein has the Browns trading with Colts. Interesting. Interesting indeed. All right, so then we're going to go Peter. Let's see here. Yeah. He has us taking offensive line. Offensive line is not a bad choice for us. However, that's what we've been drafting a lot lately. We need to get out of that bubble. We need to start drafting other positions so we can help out our team. Are we still sharing? No, I'm not. Okay. But as I'm saying, we as a team, Seahawks team, need to do a better job of drafting. And I know it's hard. I do mock drafts for us all the time. And it's hard to predict what you guys are going to predict or what you guys are planning on picking. And I follow the team. But what we need to do as a group of fans, we need to get together and be like, hey, let's tell them what we think is important. Offensive line to protect Russell. Yes, need to get that fixed. We need a running game. Again, offensive line. See offensive line. 2, we need a passing game. Well, in order to do that, we need 1 and 2. That's the offensive side of it. It all roots on the offensive line, but that doesn't mean that we have to select our first pick as an offensive lineman. If the best player available is an offensive lineman, go for it. By all means, go for it. If not, if it's a defensive pass rusher, go for that. Because we need to start working on our pass rush. We need to fortify our cornerbacks and safeties. Starting to see some injuries back there. We need to make sure that's shored up. And we also need to make sure that our linebacking core is also deep as well. Basically, we have a lot of core guys that are still here. A lot of core players that can help us move on and win another championship. We just need to get the depth built behind them like we used to have. There's a reason people feared coming into Seattle. And it's not just the fans. We are a big part of that. Don't get me wrong. I shout myself close to horse because working in working with the public and actually talking to people on a regular basis is part of my job. It's a little hard not to do that, but sorry. But we have to. But they also feared our defense. They feared coming into their and getting hit by our defensive line, having our cornerbacks and safeties hit people and tell them, "Hey, you don't want to come up the middle anymore." That's what we got to get back to. We're getting away from what made us the Seahawks that won the Super Bowl against the Broncos. And we're shifting to a team that is more like the team we had prior to Pete Carroll getting here. The Jim Mora teams, the later Mike Holmgren teams that were all about finesse and touch. You're down type thing. No, I want to see them out there hitting. I want to see them doing what we used to do. Now I know the NFL prohibits a lot of the practices that we used to do in practice, but we can still, as a team, work together to, as a team, we can still move together on that. Just trying to think of what else to say today, man. It's hard. There's so much to talk about, yet it's only so much time that I want to spend talking about it. So, sorry about that. The joy of doing this live. All right. So, Seahawks need to draft offensive and defensive lines. They need to draft cornerbacks and safeties. They need to get a good they need to get a solid offensive line to make sure that our running backs can stay, 1, healthy, and 2, can actually get through the line, block and make the holes that we need them to. I know that the team on the opposite side is just as good, even if it is the Cleveland Browns. These players are paid to play. They have a certain amount of professional pride. They need but we need them to step it up and make sure that they're playing just as hard or harder than the guys opposite of them. So, with that, I'm going to end this one today. Thank you for watching. This is Jay's football show. I don't know what to call this. Gosh. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your football business season. Keep an eye out next Wednesday, 11 or at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific for the first round of free agents and trades to go through. That is the best. That's the best that I can give you. Keep an eye on that because that'll tell you where your team is planning on going in the draft. If they can address a need in the free agency, that's one less need you have to worry about in the draft. Have a wonderful day.